Hello students, the Sims Huff Company 180 Studios presents Module 4 Review Sheet Answer Key. So in this particular video, it's going to be longer than some of the videos we've made in the past, and it's going to go over every problem that's on the review sheet leading up to the test that's coming up soon in Module 4, which is percents. So literally just going to work through the problem. Some of them I'll go through quicker than others, and don't forget that if any time you need to pause to rewatch something or anything like that, to feel free. So, because I will go relatively quick so that this video doesn't last super long. All right, starting with number 1. Which expression is another way to describe the change in the value of the car? So you can see your choices. Decreases, decrease. Actually, they're all decreases. So the key is the expression, 0.88. 0.88 is 88%. Okay? But then the question becomes, okay, is this an 88% decrease? So some of you might be quick to pick D just for the simple fact of it's 88%. Okay, I'm hoping that maybe you would know that we got to turn these to percents and a decimal to a percent. So we'll be getting rid of those. But you have to think from 100%. The original is 100%. If the next year it's only 88% left, that means it's a 12% decrease. Right. Okay, number 2. How much did she pay for the service at the salon? So, service at the salon, $72.60. Sales tax, 8%. She added 20% before tax. This means we got to do the 20% first. So, 20%. Okay. And I've got $14.52. All right, so there's the tip. Okay, now we're going to do the tax. Now the tax, here's the thing that's interesting. The tax is still off of the $72.60 because we're not going to pay tax based off of what we tip. So 8%, $72.60 is $581. So then the total bill will be the $72.60 plus the tip plus the tax. Which would be $92.93, choice B. All right. Yes, I realize that this keeps going in and out of focus as we go, and I'll try my best to. All right. Moving on to number 3. Increase 7.5%. Okay, and you're looking at expressions. Start with 100%. That's one thing we're going to try to review. And increase means add 7.5%, giving me 107.5%. We'll then make it a decimal. Move it 2 places, 1.075, which would lead us to choice B. All right. Number 4, percent of decrease. This is a change over original. Don't fall into the trap of just putting the numbers in. So the change, we have to figure out how much does it change. So we take 650 minus 572, which is 78. Put it over the original, 650, x over 100. And we get 12%, choice A. All right, moving on. Like I said, I'm going to go pretty quick because I don't want this video to be super long. Move some of the stuff underneath. All right, number 5. Total cost for the DVD. Okay. $12, 50% more than. So take 50% of $12, which is $6. Okay. And then you add that. More than means add, so you add the $6 to it. The marked up price is now $18. Then the 7% tax. So the 7% is off of the $18. And that would be $1.26. Okay, and then we add the $1.26 to the $18, $19.26. Okay. Salespersons Commission. Right. So, a dealer paid $10,000 for a boat at an auction. At the dealership, a salesperson sold the boat for 30% more than the auction price. So probably where most of you are going to start is this 30% of 10,000, okay, which is 3,000. And then most of you are going to hopefully add this to it, giving me 13,000. Okay. Okay, now the salesperson received a commission of 25% of the difference between the auction price and the dealership price. So the auction price is 10,000, the dealership price is 13,000. We'll do 25% of the difference, which is 3,000. Okay. Once again, auction price is 10,000, dealer price is 13,000, the difference is 3,000. All right, which gives us 750. All right, number 7. How much more did Liana receive than Marty after 3 years? So you've got Liana, you got Marty. Compare them. Liana's 2.5%. There is the IRP formula, I equals PRT, but I'm going to stick to the proportion because $100, well, that's easy. They're both 100. This has got to be $2.50. Okay, multiply by the number of years, 250 times 3. $7.50 is the amount of interest that Liana receives. And then we got to figure out Marty. Marty's 2% of that same $100, which would just be $2. Multiply that by 3 and $6. And then the difference between $7.50 and $6 would be $1.50. Okay. All right, number 8. Explain what happened to the price of the share of stock. Really, it comes down to this. And you got to break this up into 1.15 and 0.95. This is actually very similar to the first problem on this review sheet. This is 115%. This is 95%. Okay. So then it comes down to you have to start at 100%. So 115 is 15% more than 100%, so it's an increase of 15%. Okay. 95 is 5% less than 100%, so this is a decrease of 5%. So the answer to this is C. Oh boy. Right. How much did Sean receive? We actually did this problem in the book at one point earlier in this module. Right. So 3 friends own a landscaping business. Edgar, Kelly, Sean. Hours worked are listed before. In total, they earned $850 for the job. They put 15% of this into a joint savings account. So 15% of $850 should be $127.50. Right? And then divided the rest proportionally, which means take the $127.50 away from the $850. $722.50. And this is what's left over, and it's divided proportionally based on number of hours each worked. So if we want to know what Sean worked, all right, sorry for the interruption there, telephone call. All right, so where were we? $722.50 is the proportion. All right, now one thing that needs to be thought of up here is, they don't tell you to do this, but you should figure out what the total number of hours that they worked, which is 50. All right, so here's how we can do this proportionally. Okay, $722.50 for all 50 hours. Sean worked 14.5 hours, so that would go on the bottom. You put an X on the top, and when you cross multiply this, 722.5 times 14.5 divided by 50, 209.53. All right, what should be choice A? All right, moving on. Number 10. Every 5 years in March, population. What's the town's population in 2015? Go right to the end. Every 5 years in March, population is recorded. So the 5 doesn't really work in the problem. And this is just a year, 2005, 2005, 2010, 2010. Those don't come into play in figuring the problem out. But what does is you start with 7,500 people. Okay, sorry about that. Another problem with live television. All right, moving on. So here we are, 7,500 people. It's going to increase 12%. Okay, so we take 12% of 7,500. Which would be 900. Add the 900 to the 7,500, giving me 8,400. That's at the end of 2005. In the next 5 years, 2005, 2010, it's going to, well, sorry, mess that up. The first 5 was increased by 12. So at the end of 2010, from 2010 to 2000, probably 15, not 55. That's a typo on my part, I'm sure. The population decreased 8%. So 8% of where it left off at. Right? Which would be 672. Take that off. And we get 7,728. Hopefully it's one of our choices. So I kind of really messed this problem up. Because we did a problem like this. I changed the numbers, but then I never changed the answer. So just disregard the multiple choice answers there. This is the answer. I never changed the problems over here. All right, number 11. Moving on. Oh boy. Percent of increase from the original cost to the cost of the television using the payment plan. So ultimately, this is a change over original. And you may remember this problem. This was also in the book early on. Change over original. The original cost, we know, is 500. So we've already got that piece. But what we don't know is they don't give us the change. Okay? And they didn't give us the other number that ended up with. So we got a little bit of additional work to go with. So to buy the television costs $500 originally, and we're not worried about tax. To pay the television, he'll use a payment plan. One payment of $125. All right, so I'm just going to write this over here. $125. And then pay $72.50 a month for 6 months. So $125 plus $72.50 times 6. And the reason this is a 6. Because this is 6 payments of $72.50. All right, so we're going to multiply these together, add this. This comes out to be $560. Okay. So that's the new price. That's the price using the payment plan. So the change is 60, the difference. Because remember, we got to take, got to subtract them to get the change. X over 100. And if I remember correctly, this comes out to be 12. Probably what's going to happen, just looking this over, is that this is going to end up being in 2 videos because there are actually a lot of problems on here. So we'll finish up the multiple choice, and then we'll make another video that's going to have the rest. All right, the top, number 12. 25% discount. And we're talking about expressions. So we start with 100. 25% discount is take it off. 75%, which is 0.75p. All right, now, what we got to be careful about is it says which expression is not equivalent to the price of the item with the discount. Okay. So you can see that 0.75 is this. Now, up here, this is weird, but if you put those together, they're combined, they're like terms. So if we combine them, that gives us 0.75p. Here, if I take 1.0 minus 0.25 in the parentheses, I get 0.75, and then the p is tacked on. So the answer to this is D. All right, and then one more. 0.8 describes the discounted price of the hat. So which expression describes the discounted price in dollars of the hat? Discounted 20%. So basically, we're seeing, okay, 0.8. What's going to give me this? Well, it's not this one. X minus 20, well, that's not going to give, because we're looking for what's going to give us 0.8. X minus 0.2, well, there's no X with it, so you can't put those together. But if you have 1X minus 0.2X, that would be 0.8X. All right, so Sims Huff Company, Module 4 review sheet. the multiple choice. This is Mr. Sims signing off.